Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a video on the Carnival All Stars palette by Stacey Marie and bPerfect. As many of you probably know, there have been lots of these palettes over the last couple of years. There was the Carnival XL and there was the Carnival 2, then there was the Carnival Tahiti, and then I think there was the Carnival Antidote last year, and this year this one released, which is a combination of all of those palettes, or at least the best shades of all of them. So this is what the palette looks like, and I really wanted this because I don't have a rainbow palette in my collection, and now that I have some lethal multichromes I really needed something to pair them with. So this seemed to me like the perfect all-in-one palette, but quality had to be good, so that's what we're testing out today. There is also a bigger version of this palette. By the way, this one retails for £25 or 30 euros. And then the big one is just a remastered version of the first Carnival XL palette, which retails for 45 euros or probably £40. Those are the two newest options in the line, and I just wanted to dedicate a video to the choice that I made. So for today I want to show you some swatches. I want to show you how I got this pretty pink and purple look, and I am saying in the intro of this look that I'm not sure how many looks I'm going to do. I do know now. I'm going to upload this video as soon as possible using only or doing only this look, and then later in the week I'll do a 3 looks 1 palette as well, so I can test out more of these shades. So now let's hop right into the swatches. So, as you may have noticed, there's a lot of mattes in this palette, as is the case with the other Carnival palettes as well, but there are a couple of pretty shimmers. And what I really liked about this one compared to the XL one is that there aren't really any neutral shades. There are some neutral leaning greens, but mostly it's very colorful, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to swatch from top to bottom, left to right. So let's get going. So first we have Keen, Lit, Honey, ooh, Honey is nice, and Coral. And I'm just swatching them once. I dipped my finger into nicely, but not with an extreme layer, and this is what they're looking like, so that's great. Second row we have Funky, Rose Pink, Bloom, and Blaze, which is a beautiful red. I don't really have a red in my collection, so this is wonderful. Next up we have Wasted, Fruit, I wanted to say fruity, but fruity. Oh, I feel kind of stupid. Fruity, Starlight, and Blackberry. Wow, look at those amazing swatches. Now I think I'm going to have to continue on my other arm. We're about halfway, or exactly halfway. Next up we have Reef, Recharge, Sky, and Mood, which is a shade I'm really excited for. Then we have Ecstasy, beautiful electric green, Tropics, Silvery, and Forest, which I think Forest can swatch a little bit better. Yeah, that's more the way I see it on my finger. And then finally we have Clay, Venom, Khaki, and Mystic, which is a black. I thought it was a very dark green, but I think it is, yeah, I do think it's a black. Let me just see if I can build that up a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely a black. So this is the whole palette swatched. And as you can see, it is a beautiful neutral palette with a few shimmers, but mostly mattes. The only thing that I think is missing ever so slightly from this palette is light shades, light mattes, and actually also light shimmers. So maybe a lighter yellow or a light peach or something to blend everything out. But as you will see in the demo, that wasn't really an issue today. So that was just something I was thinking. So these are the swatches. Pause if you want to. And now let's hop into my look for today. So let's do the first look with my Carnival All Stars palette. At this point I'm not really sure if I'm going to do multiple looks in the first video or if I'm going to do a separate video doing multiple looks and just reviewing this palette in this video. But at least you get one look. So these are the beautiful shades. I wish that this yellow had been a little bit lighter, but I still think it's a nice rainbow palette and I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one. So I am going to do multiple looks, like I said, I just don't know when exactly, but I figured we should try as many shades as possible for the first look, right? So I have here my trusty Essence brush, not the slanted one, but just the regular pointed brush. It's a little bit stained, but I do think it's pigment free. And I want to start, I really don't know what to do. The thing is, I'm going somewhere tonight and it's going to be kind of casual, so I don't want to really overdo my makeup, but I could also just overdo it and then take it off. So I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me just go into the shade that I want to reach for the most, which is Bloom. This shade over here. I'm not sure why, this is really calling my name. And I'm going to put this in the crease in the outer part of my eye. Trying to keep it not too high, keep it slightly lower. Also putting this in my outer corner. I guess this palette doesn't really have a lot of light shades. That's okay. I am slightly familiar with the bPerfect formula. I have tried their Dream Big Manifest palette last year. I really liked that formula and I loved some of those shimmers. But in the end, the palette just didn't have enough fun shades for me to keep reaching for it. So I still use it from time to time, but it's not the staple that I think this one is going to be. Okay, now I need to make them a little bit more even. Now I'm taking a clean blender brush and I'm going to see if I can fade out the edges using just this brush. And it seems to be working nicely. Yes, I feel like you get a nice fade from skin tone to color. Ooh, that's nice. Now, because the color purple is sort of close to the color pink, I'm just going to use the same brush and I'm going into Blackberry, which is deeper. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner, keeping this lower than the pink. I thought the pink was going to be my deepest shade, but no, I'm going to deepen it up a little bit more. I did say there weren't enough light shades for me. Well, I didn't say there weren't enough, but I'm saying that now. I wish there were more. But I do like the fact that there are a couple of really deep shades. Took it maybe slightly too high, but we'll fix that. Also taking this underneath the lower lash line. And I'm keeping it mainly in the outer part. I do love the way these shadows build on top of each other. I haven't really even blended them yet, but they don't look terrible. Even unblended, so that's nice. And as you can see, you can really deepen up the purple very intensely. Usually I would deepen this up even more with the black, but I don't even think that's necessary. I'm taking off most of the pigment on this washcloth, which is dry, so I can go back into Bloom, that first shade that we used. And just make sure there's still a nice blend from the purple to the pink. But I still don't want to take it too high. It's funny, I was convinced that I was going to do a green and yellow look today. But here we are. I decided to also blend out the lower lash line using this shade. And it will get a little bit too low, but I'm going to clean that up with a makeup wipe later. What a seamless blend from the purple to the pink. Really quite nice. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, I used the Glam Light Icing eyeshadow primer. So I'm cleaning, oh wait, no. I have this original blending brush with no product on it. And I'm using it to blend out the pink again. Wow, that blends out so beautifully all by itself. That's really nice. There aren't that many shimmers in this palette, which is fine. So I'm going to use Starlight, which seems to be a really nice textured shimmer with a blue reflect. And I know this is kind of predictable, but wow, look at that shade. Oh. There was one of these kind of shades in the Dream Big Manifest palette as well, and it's mainly the shade that I use every time I use that palette. And this one is just as nice. I'm taking my clean finger and I'm tapping over the edges. Wow. Oh, I don't think I want to take this makeup off. Look at it. Oh, that's so nice. So I cleaned up my under eyes already and I think this looks a little bit better. So now let's do something on the lower lash line. I'm going into Rose Pink, which is this beautiful rosy rose gold metallic. And I'm just going to put this underneath the lower lash line. I guess this look is going to be slightly more monochromatic than I was going for. But like I said, I'll definitely do more looks in the future. And I'll do a rainbow look as well. I'm also going to put this in the inner corner because it's actually a lot lighter than I was expecting when looking at it in the pan. I'm also going to take this slightly into the first part of the lid, blending it into that purple shimmer. And I think that's going to be it for the eyeshadows for today. I like it. I'm going to finish up this look and then I'll show you the result in just a second. So this is my finished look and I really like this. Now I'm not going to say that this is the most unique look I ever do because I do this kind of look pretty often, but it was very easy to do and I really love the blend of the pink into nothing and the purple into the pink. I love this shimmer shade even though it is creasing ever so slightly, but I do have hooded eyelids, so that's not really a surprise. I finished up the look using my Ardell Faux Mink 858 lashes with some purple and black eyeliner. I used my Wet n Wild Photo Finish Photo Focus, I'm not sure what it's called, foundation in the dewy version. I used my Chanel concealer and my Too Faced under eye powder. I used my Chanel bronzer. I used the Shiseido blush that's in my project pan and also the Becca highlighter in what's it called? Amethyst Prism or something like that. And then I used my Guerlain lipstick in the shade number 677, which is this one. So that's everything that's on my face. Now let's go into my final thoughts. So now that I've finished my look, showing you the swatches and told you some things about the palette, let me tell you what I think of it. I think it's amazing. I gave the commentary a couple of times that I wish there were more light shades, and I still think that would have been nice, but I didn't miss them. I could blend out the pink very easily, and I do like the fact that it goes very deep. I like the fact that there are only a few shimmers, but they are very good shimmers, and especially the shade Starlight that I put all over my eyes is just beautiful. The swatches turned out amazing as well, and the pigmentation on the eyes is also great. I like the price point. Personally, I never picked up any of the other Carnival palettes because I thought they were just a little bit too big. And also I didn't really need a rainbow palette yet, or at least not one with only a few metallics. Now that I do have some multichromes that I want to pair with some matte shades, and I'm getting a little bit more into pairing different palettes together, I guess, and different items in my collection, I felt there was a hole in my collection for a good rainbow palette, and this is definitely one. So that was my first video on this palette. Stay tuned if you want to see a 3 looks 1 palette later this week or next week. Subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss that one. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.